such a long time ago.
Hello friends, good morning. Thank you so much for coming to my channel, and I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. A couple of weeks ago I posted about my garden, just me watering it and taking care of it. This is the garden that's over at my mom's house. I do have a garden on my balcony at my house, and then I have a huge garden over at my mom's house. And I started this garden last year when I lived with her. And then this year I started my garden over at my house when I moved here with my family this year. So I am just taking you back, and I'm going to show you a little update. A lot has changed since that video. Already in that video, a lot had already changed when I posted it, because it was a couple of weeks before I posted it. So there has just been a lot growing, a lot of new peppers, tomatoes, huckleberries, blueberries, just so many things that are growing. So I hope that you enjoyed today's video. I will just be watering my garden and harvesting and looking around it and just making sure everything is good. And I will take you around and show you what I am harvesting or watering. So right now this is my blueberries. They are about finished. I have about like a snacking bag, like it's not a half gal, it's probably like a quarter of a bag. I'm not really sure, but it's just like a little snack bag full of blueberries, and I have been freezing them in my freezer so that whenever I want to make something with them, I have them, since I have not made anything with them yet. But maybe I will have a baking day soon, and maybe I'll make something with them. We'll have to see, so stay tuned, because there could be a baking day that comes soon here on the channel. I love throwing in some baking days and homemaking days and garden days, so just stay tuned with it. But I really hope that you enjoyed today's video, and if you are new to my channel, hello, welcome. I really hope that you get inspired and feel some cozy, calm vibes from my videos, and just enjoy this video.
Trying, only crying, a time on to telling myself some.
This garden season has been very behind, and I know I'm not like the only one saying that. I feel like a lot of people are kind of feeling that this year, like how behind our gardens are, especially because we had such a long winter. I mean, we almost had a frost all the way in June, so it has been kind of a slow summer. I remember last year around this time, I was getting tons of tomatoes already and just tons of things. I already had loofahs growing. My tomatillos were already putting on tomatillos, and I was harvesting those. I know that there were already pumpkins and gourds and stuff like that, and the winter squash growing. This year I have no loofah right now. I have no tomatillos. My ground cherries are just now taking off. My tomatoes, I have lots of green ones, but they're not ripened yet. I do have lots of peppers and cucumbers, so I am happy about that. But even when it comes to my flowers, they're taking a while to bloom. They're still growing. So it has been a weird, slow season.
There's no making sense of the things that they say. I know we're better than that anyway. I've been thinking maybe you should come back home. We can tell them we're just seeing how they go. Everyone thinks that they I'm hushing the dog on the chain.
I would definitely love to know, like, what about you in your garden? What zone are you in? I am in zone 7B here in Utah. And so, even though Utah is like a desert state, which we really are, we have lots of droughts, we have lots of fires, it's very desert. We still do get lots of snow, and we do still get lots of freezing temperatures. And so it does kind of sound weird to be like, oh, our gardens are slow, and we did almost have a frost and everything, because we kind of are like Arizona, but not really, because we do have really, really cold temperatures, and once winter happens, it happens. Especially winter starts like in January for us and goes like all the way up until May. So it is a very long season, and garden season to me is always so exciting and so joyful. But this year it's just been so different and so weird, and it's kind of been like a bummer not having all of my garden goodies ready yet, when in so many other places they are, and I know that they will be, but also since we were having such cold temperatures, a lot of like our plants that we started from seeds ended up dying. And so it's just been really weird. Also, I don't know if this has happened with your garden this year, but the bugs have been so bad. We've had tons of like spider gnats, and we've had lots of aphids this year, and so we've been struggling a lot. Like, even now that we're in August, I'm still struggling with aphids. And then also potato bugs, those have been so bad. They ate a lot of my stems, so like my pepper stems, tomato stems, cucumber stems, and that ended up making all those plants die. Luckily, they died right in like spring, so I was able to pick up a few more plants from the farmers markets. But even the farmers market plants, they also were struggling with aphids, and so they were just continuing to spread and grow throughout my gardens. My garden here at my mom's, and then my garden at my house, I struggled with them both. But yeah, so the bugs and the temperatures have just been so crazy. And then also the soil this year, I use Miragrow, I think, from Lowe's and Target, and that soil was so bad this year. I don't know if you dealt with that too. Let me know down in the comments if you dealt with any of these as well. So I know it's not just me, or maybe it was just me in like my stores. But they also had like aphid and fungus gnat eggs inside of them, because they were coming from the soil, and I used that for every single one of my plants, in every pot, in every Vego, whatever it was, I used that soil, and so it was a big bummer. So this coming garden season for next year, I am going to swap my soils. So whatever soil you like, if you have some really good ones, let me know down in the comments, because I would love to hear different soils that you have, or what you do to like not get these kind of bugs infest your garden. I would just love to know. I do have an organic garden. I do not like to use any kind of bug-side, like bug killer or pest killer, nothing like that. I love having a full organic garden. But if you have like organic ways and natural ways to get rid of these bugs, or have better soil, anything like that, I would love to know, so that I can know for next year. I am still kind of new with gardening. I started last year, but I have been helping my mom for multiple years, but I'm still not the best at it. I still have lots of more learning and experience to go through, but I would just love to know what you have, what kind of tips and tricks that you have But yeah, I hope that you're enjoying this video so far. The flowers are looking absolutely beautiful, and watering the garden is always a task, especially when it's super large. So this has been a lot of watering, but I hope that you're enjoying it. This Vego bed has my ground cherries on both sides, and it also has my huckleberry in it, and my loofahs, my watermelon, and my cantaloupe, and then tons of flowers and peppers. So right now I am harvesting all of my ground cherries. So with ground cherries, if you haven't grown them or if you don't know what they are, it's like a big tomatillo bush. They're related to tomatillos. And they're called ground cherries because they grow on the branches and then they fall on the ground, and they're little balls, so they're like little cherries. And I personally don't like to eat them raw, like fresh, just right when they fall down, like you would as a tomato. I like to cook them into a jam. When you make them as a jam, it is such a good flavor. I don't even know how to explain it because it honestly doesn't taste like anything I've ever tasted before, but it is so delicious on biscuits or toast, anything like that with some butter on it. And it's so cozy for autumn time. I love it so much. I made some last year with my ground cherries, and I gifted it for my mom's birthday because her birthday is in August. And so her and I both got one jar each because I kept one for myself and then gave her the other jar, and we both loved it so much. It was so tasty. This year, with all of the huckleberries, I plan to make huckleberry jam. I have never grown them or made anything with them, but now I'm growing them, and I have gotten so many huckleberries, and they are still producing like crazy. So I'm super excited for that.
When it all feels overwhelmed.
And this beautiful vine is my cantaloupes, and I have a few growing on here. Once you have a cantaloupe, it will grow so quickly. Like one day you have a baby, and then like in a week you have a huge cantaloupe. It is so crazy. I grew cantaloupes also last year, and I got 2 of them. So I'm excited to see how many cantaloupes I get this year. They're just the mini cantaloupes, and I love the mini ones. I don't like big fruits. Like I also grow the sugar baby mini watermelons, and this is my first year growing watermelon. So far I don't have any watermelons. The vine is very small, but the cantaloupes are looking so good. And then right here, this is a Roma tomato. It's my first Roma of the season. And then I also have some cucumbers to harvest. I'm not harvesting my peppers in this video because I'm trying to let them continue to grow so that I can get a big harvest and then make some salsa, make some more spicy jams or jellies. And then I'd also love to harvest all of my banana peppers so I can make some pickled banana peppers and preserve them over winter so that I don't have to buy them from the store, because the ones from the store are not as delicious as the ones that you home make.
All the moments that I've questioned, if I'll ever know the truth. In the depths of all my doubting.
And now I am harvesting my huckleberries. The huckleberries, they take a while to harvest because they are just so tiny. Some of them could be big and easy to spot and really easy to come off of the vines, but most of them are very tiny. Even though they're ripe, they're super tiny, and they just squish in your fingers because they're so tiny and so soft. That is really hard to harvest them. I don't know if you've grown them, if it's easier for you to harvest or if you have a trick, but for me, I do not have a trick. I just grab them with my fingers, and they are just so hard to harvest. But I still like to harvest them because I'm trying to get as many huckleberries as possible. And I think that it's the same trick as everything. the more you harvest, the more they produce. And this huckleberry plant is so tall. I grew this from seed back in probably February or March, and before I planted it, it was already pretty tall. It was probably a foot tall, and now it is probably 6.5 to 7 feet tall, and it is just continuing to grow. It is honestly so crazy, and the plant is ginormous. As you can see, like every single stem is going opposite directions, and so it covers my whole entire Vego, which I have a really long Vego. I got that earlier this year for Mother's Day, but this plant is ginormous and there are so many huckleberries on it, and so it's just so exciting because I grew this from seed and I'm harvesting from it like so much just to make jam out of, or like huckleberry syrup, something like that. Who knows how much I'll be able to make with it because I'll be able to harvest so much from it. So I'm really excited, and I have lots of fun plans coming soon, hopefully in autumn time as well as winter time. I'll be posting some Christmas gifts on here. I'll be making tons of goodies, so stay tuned here on this channel because there's so much coming up. After garden season, it is always so exciting because it's time to make pasta sauce and tomato soup and some baked goodies and all of the jams and all the hot sauces and the verdes, just everything like that. So it is going to be so exciting after garden season.
They wanted me to go out for a while. We were dancing in the dark with a feeling in our eyes. It felt like we had it all. We were dancing in the dark. We were dancing in the dark. Whoa, oh, 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 oh.
So now that I am done harvesting, I'll show you how much I got from this little bunch. Not as much as I have gotten before, but still that is pretty much a jar filled, and that is all going into the freezer to be frozen with the rest that I have harvested. And at the end of garden season, I will share with you how much I got from the whole season, with everything: the blueberries, the strawberries, the cucumbers, the tomatoes, everything like that, the huckleberries. And I will show you, and then I'll make goodies with you, and I'll let you know how everything turns out.
We were dancing in the dark with a feeling in our eyes. Felt like we had it all. We were dancing in.
So now to finish the garden harvest, I do want to clip some flowers to make a flower bouquet. I love bringing home flower bouquets from this garden, from both of my gardens. I just love having them throughout my house or on my balcony. And so I'm clipping some zinnias, some cosmos, some calendula, and a sunflower and marigolds. I have tons of them all over my garden. I do have one random sunflower plant. It just seeded on its own from last year when we had tons of sunflowers, and I'm not mad about it. I'm happy to have some sunflowers in my garden, but I did want to clip those and then put them all together in a bouquet to take home with me, and it just all turned out so pretty. I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. I will also be showing my basket of plums. At my mom's house, she has nectarines, peaches, apples, and plums on her property, and so I love to go over and grab some harvest from all of those trees. It's always so exciting having those extra little fruits, and I plan to make tons of plum goodies, so stay tuned for that too. That will be coming here soon because I have tons of plums, and then soon we'll also have nectarines and apples and peaches. So many goodies coming soon, but I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for being here. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, especially if you are new. I would love to get to know you and chat along with you. And you can also follow my Instagram, our.little.bloom. And I will see you all again next time. Bye, friends.